Through. Rock, yeah. Okay, guys, so as soon as I pulled this carburetor off, it had fuel spilling everywhere. You still see some in there, I'm sure. Let me find it right there. Yeah. It had fuel spilling everywhere. It's still got some. You can see where it dripped down and all that, like everywhere. And I'm going to say that's probably a float bowl problem because the guy thought it had a leak off like this or something. I don't think so because this is all bone dry. All the fuel came spilling out of this. Ooh, there's gunk in that. It came out of the overflow valve. So I'm going to go with could be broken float, but there's probably also some gunked up valves and things in here, little holes. So right now we got to take off the cables. Choke is in the front. Throttle, I believe it's, yeah, throttle is in the middle, plus a secondary one in the back, which is also connected to the throttle. I'm thinking it's just like a support piece. So we're going to take these pliers and screwdriver, loosen the throttle up. We're going to get those off so we can get this off, and we're going to open it up and look. Okay, guys, so I ended up having to take one of the manifold pieces off, but we got the carburetor off with the 3 annoying cables that it has, and I have them set up so that I'll know where they go whenever I go put it back on. Now, I guess I gotta look through the manual some more because I'm a little confused. So I thought that this would be an oil line to bring oil up to the valve control, but it comes back down here and it leads into the air box. So I'm a little confused there, and I guess I'm just going to look into it some more. But if I can't figure it out, I have someone I should be able to ask. But we're going to put the pieces back on here for now, the panels and all that, and I am going to go in and piece this thing apart. Guys, I've got the right carburetor pulled apart right now. I'm taking some brush and some of the gasoline that was in it, and I'm cleaning it. It was very, very dirty to begin with, the whole thing, and this one had some rust up in it. You can tell by just looking at the float bowl here. It's got some nice little ugly discolorations, but I'm cleaning it all off. It's looking a lot better so far, and I've noticed a couple of a couple of clogs throughout some of the tubes and things, so I went and just went through and cleaned them all best as I could. Ran out of the pressurized air, so now I've just been blowing it. So it's gonna be fun whenever I get onto the big one up there. But as is, tubes and everything seem to be a-okay. There's some gunking out. There you guys go. I do need to clean these out pretty well. But I might have a problem with this right here, the seat for the valve piece. I don't believe I do. It might be just a slight leak. But it could also be a problem with the float, so I figure I can probably just get a cup or something and put some water or something in it and let it sit down in there, see if it floats or not. Don't believe it is broke, but we'll find out. Just taking a little break right now. This is the main jet, which is a little rusted, but it's nothing too bad. Should be able to fix that up just fine. There you go, yep. The pilot jet here was originally clogged. I went in and got that cleaned up. You guys see it like it's a lot bigger on that one. Now it's like, how big are you? It's not actually that big. It's a lot smaller than that. I don't know why it looks bigger. So we're gonna get done with this one. Scrub it up, clean it up, put it back together, and get work on the second one. And then I'm going to put them back together and stick them on the motorcycle to see how it runs after that. I do think I'll be replacing this fuel line because, I mean, looks like a rather old one. It feels like it's been kind of frozen. It's a little too stiff. Excuse me. So I may have had a bit of water get up into it whenever it got too cold and froze it. I don't know if I have anything smaller than this .30 MIG weld wire, which, I mean, I can use this for some of the holes and clean them out, but the smaller ones, like this, I ended up having just like take this spring because it's so thin, and I just lifted it up and put it on it, but I won't do that to where I damage the spring. So any of the small holes that are further up into these things may have some trouble, but we're gonna see what we can do. So I'm gonna get back to it. I'm bitching to the camera. So guys, I got this one fully reassembled properly, mind you, and I'm looking at this one, and I figured out one of the problems. It's not correctly assembled. Whoever took it apart and put it back together before me did it wrong, but I'm having troubles with this one right here. It's too tight or whatever, and I was stripping it to get it, so I'm using these, and I'll find a replacement bolt for it. But the inside of this here, you guys see that little thing down in there, right? That's supposed to go down and be able to go back up. It's the slide, and I thought it was kind of weird because whenever I first looked in these before I took them apart, I didn't notice a working slide, and that's because the person that put this together before I got it, I don't know if it's the guy I bought it from or the guy that had it before him, that's put on 90 degrees off angle at least, which makes it to where it won't slide down, and I don't know if it'll even go up. But this up here is a compression chamber that actuates that piece there because it slides in and up and down like a piston. So I'm going to be working on moving this off with the vice grips whatever you call those. I call those vice grips. And then I'm going to clean it and reassemble it all correctly, and we're going to see how it handles then after we stick it on the bike. Flying nubs! Flying nubs, people! Fly it! Fly nubs! Okay, guys, so the one screw that got tricky, I ended up just taking my angle grinder and making it a flathead, so, I mean, it worked. And I took it off. I'll show you guys here real fast. So this cylinder is upside down, but it goes in here. Now, what's supposed to do is go down, up and down with the diaphragm section, because this rides along the wall just well enough so that the gas that comes through here controls the up and down motion, so that you have the lift and drop of the throttle. And let me get it. This piece right here was resting right like that. Rests right like that. That little notch right there goes in just ever so much. And this guy gave the bike to me with the carburetor like that. Once again, I don't know if he was the one that did this. I don't know if it was by accident or not. I don't know what. I just know it was like this whenever I got it, right? It was like this, stuck in the wrong position. If you look in there, it's flat. Now, what's supposed to be is 90 degrees off. So, as to let it, oh, we gotta get that needle. There we go. Now, without that screw sticking up there, slides up and down all the way down to this bushing, so that it can use the full area and control it properly. So that's one problem we're fixing, is we are assembling it as best as we can, which should be close to correct, close to spec, if not on the spec. Another problem is that stuff like right down there. There's a bunch of that I've been finding. Found a lot in the other carburetor that I had to clean out, along with the rust and stuff. So I'm gonna go off on a limb and say this one's gonna have a lot too. A lot of these hard components shouldn't get in the way of anything. I just want to make sure not to lose any pieces if I do mess with them. And I do know I'm missing a couple of parts to connect the choke lever correctly. Because it's supposed to work like that. It's supposed to work like that. Something goes between these two pieces that hold it together. I'm looking into it, finding out what pieces I'm missing. It seems like it's just little wire connections like all these along all here. So I'll probably be able to fasten one up out of some scrap metal I have laying around. But we're going to tear this apart. I got the top off. I'm going to take off the bottom, hoping that there's no more gas. Knew it. That looks very complex like that. We're going to take off the bottom and see what's going on with there. After we take off this, we got to take this off first. Just open that little compartment piece up, and it is rancid. It looks rancid, and it smells rancid. That shit, I don't think that's just gas. That's something else. But it smells like ass. It smells like yeah, that. So I'm gonna try like cleaning up most of that so it don't get on everything, and I'm definitely scrubbing that fucker. Scrubbing all this is a little rusted, or it's a little gunk. Not too sure. I'll find out. But, how do we go again? So, officially to the most difficult parts. This thing right here, which is on the main carburetor. Fuel goes in here and comes out over here against this diaphragm. Yeah, no, it's filled with gunk. So I just haven't set there, but luckily it's on the bottom, it's external. I cleaned the first carburetor. Now I'm trying to get them back together. And officially the hardest part is these little two pieces right here. Gotta separate them to get them over this so that the whole throttle piece works across both. So fucking difficult. And yeah, that's where we're at. Okay guys, so the carburetor's still a little leaky. Got it pretty much figured out. I'll probably just have to go in and do a replacement of all the bowl and seal parts and all that. And like the power valves and things, like all the channels and stuff cleaned out pretty well. So I had it running pretty well. I didn't do anything above second gear, and second gear I didn't hold too long, so I don't have a long driveway, but I figure I can go ahead and show you guys the bike running. So we're doing what we did for the Franken sled. We're putting putting the camera on my face. And we're in neutral, so we're going to back it up this way. And we're going to push it forwards. Over here. Now I'll sit down on it already. Maybe I gotta pull this a little bit. Well, I settle down real fast. I'm going to drive it down. Put in first. So we're going to just take it down this way. The front brake still needs to be done. Ooh. A little lip there almost got me. I will say it's definitely something getting used to heavier bikes. I'm used to like the little Roadrunner things. Yeah, we're just going right up this way. Foot brake down there works still for the rear, which is good for low speed, but by the time we get it working, we're going to want that front brake. We're just going to go around like this, and we're going to taking her up this way. Bring her up towards here, back to the working position. Now, neutral light seems to not want to work all the time, so I have to go up and down and find it. I mean, old wiring. It'll get fixed eventually. But, yeah. Now it doesn't need to be on choke all the time to run. I know it looks like it is, but really, it doesn't activate the choke until this is pulled out further than this. Like, this is idle for the choke, because the cord is, the cable case is way up there. It's right there, and the thing goes way down to there, so it's a little finicky, but with that all in order, other than the leak, if we look down here, you guys should see that. A little leak, but it's only from the fuel bowl down, which means that the seals, which did look like they were a little warped and out of size and all that, because, I mean, old. So, shouldn't be too bad. Just gotta get a new one, fix it up. And yes, I also got this nice tinder kit, which is awesome. I'm usually going to have it under the panel, but the battery's been a little low, so I've been plugging it up whenever I'm not using it and messing with it. Which is also real nice because I can have the window locked and have the cable come out. So, I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. We got her running. That was the goal. For this one, at least. Got the carburetors working enough that we can actually play with it. We rode up and down. And all about... Oh, my favorite thing. Never had a horn on a bike before that worked. I fucking love it. So, anyways, guys, I hope you like this, and if you want to stay tuned and updated on what goes on with this bike, please do subscribe and hit that bell. It'll help me out, help you out, and hopefully I see you guys in the next one, especially if you lasted this long. You're a champ, because I'm stupid as fuck.